Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we are going to look at one interesting formation named as Concealing Baby Swallow Candlestick Pattern. This is a formation which gives us an idea of a possible reversal from bearish to bullish. So you can call it a bullish reversal pattern. We will see how this is formation is going to be helpful for figuring out the trading opportunities if we get the signs that the existing trend which has been bearish so far is showing the signs of reversal. Then we will utilize this concept of concealing baby swallow to go for confirmation of that possibility and subsequently the so let us now head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. Here is the chart of the Euro USD with the each candle period defined at hourly. For adding this indicator, all you have to do is a quick search. Here it comes, concealing baby swallow. Now this is a rare formation. It is not going to be recognized on the chart too frequently as we will need the trend to develop in a bearish manner. Then the trend will have to start showing these signs of this particular pattern, and a confirmation of sort will also be needed for the pattern to be taken as fully developed. So we will see that this is not going to be too frequent. It will develop only once we have the bearish trend and it is now in a situation where that existing candles are forming in this particular pattern. Only then we will have this pattern recognized on the chart. So this is going to be rare. Let us see when it had formed recently. Alright, so here there is one case where we saw the concealing baby swallow forming on the chart, and if we consider this particular pattern, it is recognized after four successive, or you can call consecutive candles have taken shape in a particular formation where we need the first two candles to have bearish undertone where the closing price needs to be significantly below the opening price, and in the third candle the high of the third candle needs to be greater and the candle should have eaten into the second candle. So we need these high of the third candle to be far greater than the closing price of the second candle, but it should go on to close on the lower side. The third candle should also be having its closing value below the opening price. Then there should be the fourth candle which has these continuation where the closing is below the opening price, but it should have engulfed the third candle. So it needs to have been quite volatile in the early period of that particular candle. It should have shown possibility of rising, but it should have failed to sustain the initial momentum in that particular period, and should have nosedived again to close at the lowest levels. So if these four candles are in this formation where there is this successive bearishness for these four consecutive candles, and that bearishness is showing the signs of fatigue where we have these possibility developing in the market, and we are just waiting for further confirmation for going into a new trade. So once this formation takes shape on the chart, you can start looking for further signs of reversal if you get the subsequent candles showing the promising scenario where these subsequent candles closing price is greater than their opening price, and it also goes on to rise above the high of the fourth candle, then we can take the signs of this confirmation and start looking for opportune time, optimum time for a new long trade. So in this scenario, we saw that subsequently in the fifth candle there was not much of an rise, but it took some time, and eventually we did see this rise happening after 2 3 more candles, but it was not quite strong. If we simply look at this volatility of this candle, you will notice that it took a lot of time to rise above these fourth candles high, so it should not have been taken that seriously. And again we saw this deep, and eventually it did go on to rise, but I don't really think we would have been in a position to profit using these formation of concealing baby swallow in this case. Let us look for more examples of this pattern. This is a rare formation, so we might need to do a lot of searching for another example to be spotted on this chart. Because the trend for the euro has been bullish for most part of last couple of months, and as a result of that, it will be a difficult task for us to spot a bullish reversal using concealing baby swallow. And as I expected, we haven't found another example in last 2 months. Let us try to change the instrument. Let's see what's the story with GBP USD. Okay, the GBP USD is also not showing up any promising lead in in that direction. So I think we will have to trade carefully here. Okay, let's go back to the example which we had found. And for more examples, you will have to do a lot of observation, lot of search, and then only you will be able to spot these kind of formation, which are rare formation, but as it takes into consideration a lot of data points over last four candle grids, I think this is a promising formation which we can utilize judiciously to look for optimum trade entries for new trades. Let me now show you some options of further customization using these edit indicator option. Input. There is nothing we can vary in terms of the input, so I am not changing anything on this count. Output, we can go for different types of color combination and styling. You can go for bracketing, or you can go for full shading of this candle. We calculate on new candle only. We can go for this option, but since this formation requires all the four candles to have formed in a particular manner, this option is not going to cast much an impact. Highlight the time period zone, whatever is your calculation period can be highlighted, but this is not also going to be making any difference for this formation, as the number of candles which need to have shaped up in a particular manner is fixed at 4, so this is not going to be helpful either. Calculate from custom data, this option has already been disabled on the platform, as there is no possibility of customization of the input parameters. All we can do is vary the candle periods. Show indicator on all periods whenever possible. You can customize these options. Suppose if you have different types of indicators applied on different time frames, you can use this option to have this particular pattern recognized on some of these time frames and not on others, so you can use this option in that manner, so you have multiple data points to work with. So that's the customization which has been provided on the platform. My suggestion is you should try out these formation with multiple instruments on multiple time frames. See how these observations play out in multiple scenarios, and once you have done that observation, I'm fairly assured and quite confident that you will be in a position to utilize this formation for enhancing your trading setup if you have any existing, or to devise a new trading system using this formation of the concealing baby swallow. So that's all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in feedback, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time around with an equally interesting indicator to work with. Till then, have a fabulous time ahead. Thank you all for joining in. Goodbye.